So let's get rid of a few of these extra stitches. I'm just going to knit a few stitches here. Now I'm going to knit 2 stitches together to get rid of some of my extras. So here's 2 stitches. I'm going to put my needle through both loops. So 2 stitches I went through. And now I will knit them like it's 1. And I've gotten rid of 1 extra stitch. I'll show you again. Let's just knit 1 normal one. Okay? So here's 2 stitches. I want to get rid of 1 of these. I have too many stitches on my needle. So I'll go through both loops at the same time. So there's 2. And then I just knit like normal. I've gotten rid of another stitch. One more. So how do we end up with extra stitches in our knitting? There's a few ways, but the most common I see is when we had our yarn in front when we went to knit. Normally our yarn is back here behind our needle. If it's accidentally in front of our needle, we create an extra stitch. So I've gone through my loop, but my yarn is trapped here. So when I wrap my yarn around the back needle, I have a stitch here, and then I have my normal stitch. I'll show you again. If my yarn is in front by accident, I go through my loop to knit, I have accidentally trapped an extra loop here. So that when I knit, there's that loop that got trapped, and now I've made a second one. Another way we end up with an extra stitch on our needles is if I do not jump off my stitch. So I've knit 1, but I didn't push this stitch off the back. Normally we jump off. We knit and we normally jump that stitch off. If you don't do that, you will accidentally make an extra stitch. So I've not jumped off. If I just loop back in to knit again, now I've knit 2 stitches in 1 loop. I've added a stitch. Again, it looks like this. And if I were to accidentally just knit again in that same loop, it would give me 2 stitches. Now, both of those things I showed you that we often do by mistake when we're learning, they're actually knitting stitches that you do later on to create different patterns and to add stitches to your work on purpose. But right now we don't want to do those. We want to keep our same amount of stitches. So here's one. This is where I accidentally had my yarn in front. That one gives itself away really easily. My normal stitch has a bump underneath it, and this one does not. So that's a pretty easy one to see, where I go, uh-oh, I added a stitch there. I just need to knit those 2 together, and I can make it go away. There's another one. And that's it. We can fix most of our mistakes in knitting. It's really great. You're going to make mistakes and it's okay, because with a few tricks, we can fix them.